So much soldiers in this small country. No, 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 no. Is it necessary to shine soldier boots with taxpayers' money? No, 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 no.
Well, don't tell me, tell Rowley. Is them send police to lock up Welch today? Tell me how a parliament that considers itself functional in 2021 could have as a charge insulting language. What bullshit? Is this where we are? We are a nation of hypocrites. We hypersexual. We ram like rabbits. Our entire culture is based on genitalia. We make rich men of fellas like who own Poison and Dinakin of Tribe, putting less and less material to cover vaginas. We are a nation of hypersexualized fools. We ram like rabbits. We is the horning capital of the world. And we outside there with a charge like insulting language, or insulting me. You're insulting my intelligence. 2021, we still dragging the dead corpse of King George into town. Come now, man. Come now, man. You send them 2 police to lock up that man. How you feel it look to the rest of we? I want to explain to you all Trinidad and Tobago where the power of the parliament resides. And tonight, we're talking about a blatant abuse of power. And each and every one of you looking on tonight have to be upset, disturbed. And I say again, and as give them other activists thing to quote, I may not agree with what you say, but I will fight to the death for your right to say it. And I have a post to share on Facebook, but I wanted to announce it here first. My name is Philip Edward Alexander, and I will be walking in front that Red House tomorrow. If we in a dictatorship and I have to dead for my country, don't drip it on me drop at a time. I come in. Let me see. I am Philip Edward Alexander. I have my sack. Go bring me sign. See that? See that? I will be in front of the Red House tomorrow with this. Kid Rowley, look out for me, you know. I come here with my sign. You see it? Right. The whole world going to know. The whole world going to know if this is a democracy or a dictatorship. Let me don't do like Maduro and Chavez and take 15 years for them to find out. I want them to know now. So if I have to dead for my country, I'm going to dead tomorrow. But I will be in front of the Red House. I, Philip Edward Alexander, with that sign. Because I want to know, I watched that video. And I watched that little black boy asking, what he do? What he do? And if you could snatch his power using mine, well, partner, we had our conversation. Because the Constitution is predicated on my power and yours, not Rowley. Not Rowley and Laurel Lizama Lising. Not Rowley and Colm Imbert and Faris Silky Drawers Al Rawi. Not Fall Down Short Young. It's not predicated on them. It's predicated on we. All are we. Black, Indian, Chinese, Syrian, white, where you name it, where you come from, whoever you're praying to, who you're bullying with in the night. I want you to hear me say this. This country belongs to you. Your neighbor could love you. Your neighbor could hate you. It don't matter. The country belongs to you. The Constitution begins with whereas we the people. Not as whereas we the politicians or whereas we the office holders. They're predicated on that. We lend you a state of emergency, my brother. We lend you because you and the no power president say there is a pandemic. And because there's a pandemic, we will take away your civil liberties and your human rights to fight the pandemic. Only thing is, You've had it 2 months now. You've had 6 14-day cycles of incubation. And instead of arresting the decline, arresting the COVID-19, you are arresting citizens for walking down the pavement, man. Come now, man. I'm calling everybody in the world. Come see my country. Come see. This little half-breed Syrian will be in front of the Red House tomorrow with that sign. I come in. I want to stand up where they lock him up. I come in. I come in. I want to ask questions. I want to know how a motorcade could spread COVID. Tell me. I's a ass. Say it to me like I was 4 years old. Tell me. I's a dotish jackass. Tell me how a motorcade spreading COVID. The only reason all your bust that motorcade is because you know Trinidadians fed up. When a little Syrian boy like Stephen Hadid could say, I court closed, I opening. You had to know. You had to know the whole country fed up. Boris Johnson in England. Wake up and find 500,000 British in the streets. You don't think Boris Johnson wanted to send boom, government boots? You don't think he wanted to play dictator? But he know the whole world watching. The whole world watching. And Trinidad and Tobago have to decide. Are we fully in bed with China? We still flirting, exchanging love notes? Or we already take off with clothes and sexing? Because I want to know. I want to know how far we reach down the rabbit hole. And the only way for me to find out is to put myself in it. So I come in with my sign tomorrow. Kitos. You're going to send them, brother? The world will see. I, Philip Edward Alexander, with my bad foot, will be in front of the Red House tomorrow. I want Trinidad and Tobago to understand. Everybody, priest, pundit, police, politician, all of them get their power from you. All. The Constitutional Republic of Trinidad and Tobago vest the state and the authority of the state in you, from you, of you. It is you. It is you. And they can't send police to kill you for your country. They can't send soldiers to kill you for your country. And they should not have sent police to lock up David Welch tonight and say the computer down and we can't process him. All of that is bullshit. We're in a bullshit nation now. If you're a dictator, brother, tell them tomorrow, because I will be there and I will give you a chance to show that you're a dictator. Your name, man, I will be there. Come show them. Come show them. And you see that bullshit law? But we had to get permission to march. Nowhere else in the world except dictatorships have laws like that. Time to strike that law off the books. Kamla Prasad Bisesa, I am telling you as a citizen of the Republic, tomorrow, tell Anisette George, Bridgie, the people send me. 1.4 million send me. And they say we're striking a law off the books. Now I know we're not the government, eh? We're the opposition. But we bring a message from the people. Because the people say the law is a bullshit law. We want to strike it. Put that down as urgent government business before the 1.4 million of them had to come and tell you themselves. And people say, what? You can't say that. Left, right, government boots. To ask with that. I knew when I step out, little knuckle draggers and shit snakes getting NLCB money to attack me will attack with full force. You know what they're finding out? You know the knuckle draggers and the Neanderthals and the underdeveloped finding out? Philip Edward Alexander have a massive following. Huge. They can't quantify it yet. So they send the Neanderthals and the knuckle draggers to say Philip have $1 million boat in yacht club, $2 million UNC car. They want to say, look, the Indian and them paid he to attack black prime minister. All that falling down, falling flat. Because them same black people looking around the house and say, but my house empty. I can't get money. My children belly rumbling and Rowley salary pocket fat. All the family pocket fat. The kitchen full, food floor falling out the cupboard when you open the cupboard. So don't give me the black talk. Them days done. That's what the Neanderthals finding out. When they had to come with a fake page news source and UNC cabal and post shit to fool people and people tell them, gone from here with that, nah, man. Don't attack the man that way, nah, man. You have your name man, or in this case, whoever you is, because we ain't know. None of we could say for sure we know what's going on with you. But you're drawing money to attack me make cook, make calypso. Philip is a lost soul. Philip is an asshole. You name man and woman. Bring your twist face outside and say it, nah, man. Let me watch and see. Stand up next to me. Let the world see the level of ugly you bring to the conversation, both figuratively and literally. Bring your ugly outside. Don't take NLCB money from the taxpayers, the attack people who fighting for the taxpayers. You're mad. You're damn well mad. And I ain't waiting for Satan to roast your ass. I will roast you here. I will roast you with my words. You think how to get paid to do what you're doing? You ought to get paid to support the PNM. I support in Trinidad and Tobago for free. If them wasn't paying you, you outside hustling. You know that? You're only fighting rowdy business because they're paying you taxpayer money. That is what you was waiting on. You fight for that. Half all inside of there. Half all inside of there, a bunch of waste of time. Without taxpayer money, all is nothing. Without taxpayers' office and taxpayers' power, all is nothing. Not one thing. Colm Imbert still flagging down taxi looking for a work. Rowley still looking for a work. If it wasn't for taxpayers' money and taxpayers' all office, I think all you bright, all you too bright, all you so bright, all you blow. And it's time to change that. I watched that little boy today walk from Lavantil to come and serve a letter. That is a little black activist fighting for a better country. But all you vex. All you vex, he black and he on the Indian side. So it's burning all you. When you have Rohan sitting and talking shit, but not every Indian is a thief. How much you get for K-Donna, Rohan? How much? How you end up with K-Donna, Rohan? Tell them. Tell them. Listen, call the pussy lawyer. Tell him start writing pre-action. They say I am the most sued man in the country. That is a truth. Because this corrupt PNM government frayed me. And they frayed my mouth. So they will pay journalists. Don't quote Philip. They will pay media houses. If you only broadcast Philip voice, you will get no government advertising. Why you think the person with the largest social media reach in the country banned from TV6 and CNC3? Why you think? Why you think? Akash Samaru, God bless his little soul, could only make numbers on Facebook when they come and they thief my words and rewrite it and re-release it. And think I ain't gonna notice. Run down, run up, create shit for them, turn them into jackasses, send them out like entertainers, and use them to distract people from the truth of the sliding shithole we live in. And hear me talk. Look at me. I don't need to be doing none of this. That jackass, as somebody tell me, when that is all you know about life, you think you reach. We reach where we going. You have no clue. You have no idea what I am, who I am. I have a jackass uncle who make a jail in the States, going to burn down people's property to collect insurance like he used to do in Trinidad. That jackass playing, he trying to put my business in the road. And he don't even know my business. But because all of them children fail, because all of them children had to go and get a degree to come out, not just a degree, had to come and fight to get a degree and beg Philip boy, pull some strings now boy, give me son all end now, give me son all edge now, give him all public service work, because without taxpayers' dollars, all of these big talkers, nothing, selling paint for your father-in-law. All you bright, all you too bright, all you three bright. Lock up that little boy. All you shame, boy. When they send you to do that, when they call you, and they say, here what? I send him to all you to lock up that little black boy. Why did they say, but you're mad or what? I'm not in that. I didn't sign up to be this for that. Why you didn't say that? What did he do? I watched the video, so you tell me. What did he do? Harry Hunt sent a message to me. Harry Hunt say, they charge him with insulting language and resisting arrest. What is resisting arrest? What is resisting arrest? The law of nature, the law of physics. If you cuff somebody in the face, I'm not saying you cuff them in the face, but if you cuff somebody in their face, you know where your hand stop? When your hand meet their face. Because their face resists your hand. That's automatic. When George Floyd was saying, you can't breathe, I can't breathe, that was resisting. That was resisting. All of it now is bullshit. And I am prepared to die to make a point. I want to make a big point. I am prepared to make that point. And I am coming tomorrow to make my point. The power of the parliament, the power of the police belongs to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And if you're going to abuse that power, let the world see. We ain't doing it in hiding. We ain't doing it with little black children that nobody is supposed to notice. You didn't know you had a live video running. But you will do it now and let the whole world see. This is what you want to do, my country. This is what you bring your barking jackass to be. To come and represent some hairy back criminals. To come and take over my country and turn it into a dictatorship. Not a fart. I will dead for it. When I decided to drape myself in the red, white, and black, it wasn't a stunt. If I was a stunt artist, I'd be like Simon the Nobrega up inside your party with my dotish self looking for a walk so I could whine on a little red girl. SIO, hey partner, red horse for life. These are people I know forever. And I understand the gimmick and the game. So when you send your knuckle dragger to say, and your Neanderthals to say that I am the most sued person in Trinidad and Tobago, who's suing me? PNM. PNM suing me because PNM thought that they would have silenced me. PNM thought that I would have get scared and I would have run away. PNM thought, and they only win one case, They only win one case, and it's only take one thing for me to learn, and that case that they win is right now, it is appealed, and I am very certain that the appeal will be different than the actual case. But all the rest of them case, one by one, they will fail and they will lose because I understand it now. And I understand the game and the gimmicks. I understand it. So don't say I'm the most sued politician, like that is something. That is a badge of honor. I understand that they cannot exist in a world where the truth and the light shines. Like cockroaches. Cockroaches in the kitchen, when you turn on the light, they scamper. They don't want the name to call. They don't want the name to call. One morning when Rohan Sinanan make a statement about me, a failed politician, when I put him on blast, God Christopher, I am live right now, son. All right?
Yes. Make the call part of your live. Is that okay?
No problem at all, but are you live too?
Yes. I am.
So this is two live videos talking to one another. How can I help you, my friend?
Yes. Two live videos talking. So what's up, my brother?
God, I am incensed at what is taking place, and I just announced that tomorrow I will be in front of the Red House with my sign, Keith Rowley, fire yourself. The democracy is under open threat now, and I think it is time the people of Trinidad and Tobago had a voice. I will bring a voice for them.
So do you expect what happened to David Welch today will happen to you?
Boy, they could kill me. They could kill me dead. The world will see.
So if you go tomorrow, please God, and they don't do you what they did to David Welch today.
You make your own assumptions. You make your own assumptions. But I don't think they were aware that David Welch was broadcasting that arrest live. I don't think they were aware. Stick up in. Hear me, bro, hear me. God, I just took you off a speakerphone for a minute. I want to tell you something. I do not want to make this about other people and what they say. I'm not doing that. I don't want to confuse the issue. I am saying that what happened to David Welch was wrong. You're back on speakerphone. What happened to David Welch was wrong, and we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, have to decide, is this our new normal? Will we accept it or not? That is all. That is the entire conversation right there.
Well, I mean, you remember, I'm just responding to what you said. You said that you don't think that
all right, but I'm saying to you, well, all right, but I'm saying to you, I don't want nobody to end up in no side talk with me, not you are talking about, with anybody else. So I'd rather leave that out for now because that's a good way to distract from the issue. And the issue is yesterday, that boy's power that is vested in the parliament was used against him. And that's wrong. That's wrong. That's 51 shades of wrong, brother. That's real wrong. Because without the people's consent, the parliament falls. Without the people's consent, the parliament collapses. The 41 people in the parliament drawing a salary right now do so at the people's behest, with the people's blessing. And the people could withdraw that at any time. And the people of Trinidad and Tobago need to understand that. Tonight, what happened to David Welch tonight could happen to anybody and anybody children. And that is not acceptable anymore, not to me. And I said at the start of my video, if we're heading down to a dictatorship, then we don't go slow. Let me accelerate for the world to see. I don't want it to take 15 years like Chavez and Maduro for people to say maybe it's a dictatorship. I go in and stand up there. If you have police boots and police bullets for me, bring them tomorrow. I will be there. No permission.
So you have your lawyers and...
Nope, I have nothing on standby. Just me and my belly, backbone, and balls. I come in with my side. Well, I don't know. I have a sick foot and an expensive phone, and I want to let them know that if they don't kill me, if they damage me in any way, they will be paying for it, and I am very expensive. I am worth a lot of money.
Well, what do you know of your situation at the moment?
I was told from people within the Senate who were updating me as to what was going on, and I am very upset, and I don't want to put that information in space again. I don't want to make this a side issue for them, you know, God. And I'm taking this call from you because I know that this is an opportunity for all of us to build bridges that last for a long time. And always my position is that the country comes first and the democracy comes first. The people of Trinidad and Tobago, our future is hinged on our freedoms, and our freedoms were taken away today when David Welch was arrested for nothing.
Well, Philip, I'll be looking on. I'll be looking on tomorrow. Please go on. What time are you going down there?
I'm not telling nobody that because I do not want to call. I don't want people to say that because I tell them a time, other people come out. I understand the game, you know, brother. I ain't giving them no wiggle room. I don't want nobody that listen. If I tell Trinidad come out tomorrow, I could pull 50,000 people in town. I am not calling anybody in town. I go in alone. Me and my camera for the world to see. And that's it. That's all of it. I don't need backup. I don't need help. I go in, live or die on my belief that unless all of us are free, none of us are free. And David Welch, what happened to him today is unacceptable, and I'm saying that the people who made the call to arrest that boy have to be fired, whoever they are. As high up the chain as it goes, fire them, because that was an abuse of office, okay?
Seeing that the Commissioner of Police issued a press release stating, but addressing the proposed motorcade for Friday, the same motorcade that David was going to deliver his letter concerning, do you see the Commissioner of Police condemning his officers for it?
I don't know. Gary have his job to do and I have my job to do. I put out a post after saying that all those laws are bullshit laws. That's Carl Hudson Phillips and his Public Order Act bullshit that he and Eric Williams put in place when they tried to lock down the country and turn it into a dictatorship. And that's the remnants of Public Order Act, Carl Hudson Phillips and Eric Williams. And we need all of that struck off right now. And I said, Kamala Prasad Bisesa, go in the parliament tomorrow and stand up and tell Bridget, the people send me and say, take them laws off the books. We fed up with that. We don't want to ask permission to march if we're marching against the government. Madness. This can't be democracy in name only, partner. It needs to make sure that the rights of the people of Trinidad and Tobago are enshrined. When you end up with a jackass Iraqi as an attorney general telling you not all freedoms are absolute, that is an ass. We need to make sure that he understands that what we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, want are laws that are absolute. And if he don't like it, he can pick up his family and go back to Baghdad.
Thank you very
Yeah?
much for taking the time.
Thank you for the call.
All right?
Stay strong.
Okay, my brother.
Gave my word to God, Christopher, that I will take his call. And let me tell you something, eh? Gary Griffith is my friend. And I know some of you just come on my wall and say it's your pal Gary and your friend Gary to needle me. Don't needle me now. I just get vexed for shit like that. I believe Gary Griffith is the right man for that job. I believe the parliament have a work to do to remove those bullshit laws. Gary keeps telling people he can only enforce laws that are there. It's time we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, through whose hands the parliament function. Picture them as 41 Muppets. And we move their hands and their mouths. We tell them what we want. Right now the tail wagging the dog and tomorrow that done. Tomorrow that done. Because no matter what happens tomorrow, from tomorrow, I am calling on Trinidad and Tobago to fire this government. Do not stop till they're fired. Fire them. It is time to fire them. They have crossed too many lines. They have gone too far. They have written too many bullshit laws, like what they did to the Procurement Act that turned it into an opportunity to legitimize government corruption. All that. Fire them and repeal every piece of bullshit law that Faris passed in that parliament. And get serious about your country now. And again, if my blood have to soak into the pitch in front of the Red House for you all to understand your rights and your responsibilities as a citizen of a democracy, then my blood will flip and will have to soak in to the pitch tomorrow. Me sign, done make, and ready. I'm taking your calls on 682-2110. If you want to call, if you want to WhatsApp, you could call in. Keep it respectful. Keep without defaming anybody, because you better, if you don't have court clothes, trust me when I tell you, it's not fun. They know what they're doing. They're using the courts to terrorize citizens. Defamation lawsuit. Oh God, Your Honor, he make me feel bad. My neighbor does watch me sideways now when I come in the yard. My wife don't want to give me no sex in the night. Philip voice too hard, it hurt me. My bald head can't grow hair again. That is what you just have to read. In a pre-action protocol letter, he is a massively popular voice on social media. Hundreds of millions, this shit that is right. Hundreds of thousands of people follow his every word. This is in. And all of them copying and pasting from the first pre-action protocol letter again. So I know none of them are floating free. They're all copying and pasting. They're writing their own shit. He is a massively powerful voice. He has multiples of pages that reaches far and wide across the globe. So when he damages my client's reputation, it's damaged for good. That's the bullshit that you have to read when you get a pre-action protocol letter in this country where the laws are not making sense. And I'm saying to you, we could continue to play, what is that thing you used to play? Spitball. We can continue to play spitball, dealing with the issues, or we can say, you know what, we want a democracy. We want a democracy. Everywhere in the world that has strong democracies, the democracy is watered with the blood of patriots. Hear that? I know that. It is watered liberally with the blood of patriots. And that's why Venezuelans could kiss my ass. Because if I was living in Venezuela, Maduro and Chavez wasn't getting away with that. They was never inching into dictatorship. No way, no how. Watch me. Kill all of we for the world to see. Come in, assault, take over. It was wrong. Wrong can't be wrong and right. It was wrong. What they did today was wrong. They have to apologize. They have to apologize to David Welch. They have to compensate David Welch. And then they have to fire the person who made the call to arrest David Welch. That's the position every decent, law-abiding citizen of this country must take from tonight. That's the position every citizen must adopt if you are for law and order. Because law and order is not a one-sided thing. Law and order, the government and the police have a responsibility to be arbiters and followers of the law. So when they put out a post saying 56 people charge for not wearing masks and Rowley name not on it is a bullshit charge. It's a bullshit arbitrary charge because Kid Rowley all over the place with no mask. So tell us why. Because I am sure they have, let's say Kid Rowley could get away with not having a mask because he had both his testicles removed. Imagine if without testicles, you could get away with not wearing a mask. Let me know. There are plenty of other people outside here who might volunteer to remove their testicles so they could walk around with no mask. And I'm just saying if that is the example. But there have to be a reason Kid Rowley not wearing a mask and not getting charged like everybody else. Now, my mind wants to suggest that there's a dictatorship that police freed Rowley. In every other civilized first world developed democracy, a police officer would have walked in that press conference and warned him, Mr. Prime Minister, put on your mask or I'll have to charge you. Because it happens to world leaders all around the world. Big countries, not little spit in the sea stone like Trinidad and Tobago. Real big 30, 40, 50 million population countries. But again, we pretend here. We see shit in front of our faces. Sugar. Sugar. That's why people will get upset about the word bullshit that you use to describe actual bullshit and not be incensed about the actual bullshit. Now, that's a kind of hypocrisy that needs Freud or Jung. It needs not Y-O-U-N-G, J-U-N-G. It needs deep, deep psychoanalysis to understand a country this corrupt, this openly hateful of itself, pretending to want to be the rule of law. You cannot enforce wonky law. You can't enforce uneven law. You can't enforce law for some and not law for others. All of that means that this is republic in name only and not in truth. And the courts have to stay, and the judges have to say, and they have to stand up and be activists too, because this is their country too. And when it go to shit, if they don't escape, whatever happens to everybody in this country, when water gone and lights gone and food run out, it's happening to them too. And they must see and they must know. They must understand. I have many advantages, many, that I decide to say that I will put aside my advantages and stand up for the people who don't have them. That is the purpose of power. If you believe in God and God bless you with much, to whom much is given, much is expected. And we, all of us, who have a strong voice, have a responsibility. There are things I would like to say. And if God blesses me with parliamentary privilege, there are plenty people who will try to run it. Trust me on that. There are things that I know that you have to know. I'm talking today about the police station in Carnage. Now, if you ask a quantity surveyor to go to that police station and say, value the foundation, write down a number. Now, it's called a quantity surveyor for a reason. You will say that there is 5,000 cubic meters of concrete in that foundation, 450 lengths of half-inch steel bent at labor, $250 a day, as 10 days bending, 5 days pouring. You could quantify the exact value to the dollar of the foundation. Quantify the columns, the size, the density and the PSI of the concrete, the steel in the concrete, the bend, what is used, the engineering, all of that has a value per square foot. Quantify. So, okay, $500,000 foundation. $1 million a floor for columns and beams. So it's 2 floors, $2 million. 3 slabs, the floor, the first floor, and the roof. What's the square footage? Let's say 10,000 square foot of floor. So that's 30,000 square feet. And each slab at 30,000 square feet is a 6-inch slab on decking sheets is worth $1 million a floor. We had 6 million. We had 6 million in columns, $6,500,000 in the structure. You now have a full structure. Quantify the blocks that make the walls. And you quantify them with a price. And the amount of cement 8 feet of running blocks take. Hear me? Are they filled? Steel in the blocks? Tell me. And we could quantify that. So we had $6,500,000. Let's say all the walls in the building, plus the mason put them at plaster front and back. Our next $1 million. We had $7,500,000. Tell me how much the ceiling cost. Gypsum on both floors, 10,000 square feet, $10 a square feet, 100,000 a floor, 200,000. So we round off the 500,000 for the foundation to $1 million. We had $9 million now. We have $9 million. All you have to give me now is plumbing, electrical, fixtures. Talk to me. Paint, floor covering. Where you cover the floor with? Carpet, parquet, porcelain. Where you cover it with? What kind of fixtures you have? Toilets and electrical fixtures. Windows and doors. $12,500,000. Trust me when I tell you. For a building this size, what is the engineer's value is a percentage of that 12,500,000. What's the architect value? A percentage of that $15 million. $15 million. And that is me being generous. Because I just built a 5-story building for $10 million. I just built it. 5 stories with elevator, $10 million. So how that 2-story building in Carenage cost $53 million? What the other $40 million spent on? What? You trying to tell me there is not one person in this country, not one office that I can go to and say, that is fraud, that is corruption, that is theft? Because what else could it be? It can't be that they did any kind of road works and drainage works, because ironically, 15 minutes after I drove away from that police station today, the skies opened up and flood Carenage in front of the station. Nobody could have passed. So that means the drainage works weren't done to an effective standard. They weren't done. So you tell me, Philip Edward Alexander, who knows driving past, and I'm not the only person who could drive past that police station and say, it is an insanity for you to quantify that value in excess of $15 million. It is an insanity. And that $15 million is high-end fixtures. High-end. I am about to build a 3-story, 4-story with high-end fixtures, chrome and glass railings, glass elevator, pool, $10 million, give or take. How that 2-story police station costs $53 million. I could name names of contractors, quantity surveyors, engineers, architects, all belonging to professional bodies who are supposed to be able to say, it's not possible. There is no way. Unless I am not in the loop and there are 20 floors underground. Because I asked Faris Building, now whose family, number 3 Alexandra Street, that the government spent $20 million to outfit a building that couldn't cost $10 million to build. We wrote a Freedom of Information request to the ministry, and the ministry has refused to answer. There is no office of state, no commissioner of police, no director of public prosecutions. There is nobody that I can go to, so that the only thing that I can do is take my money and spend it and sue the state to reveal the information. And the state can come to a judge and broad brush national security. And because national security is exempt from the freedom of information, I would have failed. And the court will have to order me to pay the costs of the other side that will come with 14 senior counsel to write one piece of paper response. Because that's the game in Trinidad and Tobago. And the 14 senior counsels don't see their role in the game. They don't see what they're upholding. They're blind to that. They don't see that they are enabling corruption and the destruction of this country. They don't see that. They have high position, aspiring to higher position in a society whose future does not matter as much as their own. I say all of this knowing that it doesn't have to matter to the majority of people. And because it doesn't have to matter to the majority of people, the people who are in bed with the corrupt politicians, the criminal white-collar contract mafia, the unethical lawyers, the accountants who drive the getaway car, that gang knows that they're pretty much safe. A fellow who was involved in airport construction in this country made a joke in a party in his drunken condition, and he said, when you're thieving, thief legal fees one time, you know. So them lawyers go tie them up. When you're thieving, thief legal fees one time. I know things in this country that need to be ventilated, that the public have to hear and see a resolution to before there could be a healing. Black and Indian people will never get along politically until they see a resolution that rewards them equally, equitably. So far, we've played itty, meeny, miny, mo, red and yellow politics and have not done that. So if when your party come into office is we time now, while that works for you, it turns almost half the population against the government and the nation. And that don't work for everybody. And half a boat can't sink, and the other half go its merry way. Understand me? We have to fix this country. We have to fix it. We have to be bold enough to face it. We have to be brave. We have to be courageous. You don't want to see. You don't want to know. Oh God, Eric boy. Oh God. Manning boy. That way you do we boy. When you see these documents, when you see, on a daily basis now, I mean, I really stop answering the phone. But I'm inundated and swamped with evidence, cancelled checks of government ministers paying millions of taxpayers' dollars to people for corruption. People who are openly telling me the corruption that it was. All through our 58 years. So what do we do? What do we do? Do we accept that to walk in the street, you need government and police permission? I do not accept. Not only do I not accept, I do not accept that this government has the authority to insist on those things. I reject it, and I am going to stand up outside the Red House tomorrow to say so. Okay? I do not want an audience. I do not want anybody to come and join with me. It is going to be, when I am ready to have an accompaniment, I'll let you know. But right now, it is me. I want to go. Okay? Because a point needs to be made. Keith Rowley tells people he owns shit kickers. And he wanted to shit kick Monilal. I wish he wears his shit kickers tomorrow. And like Colm say, come outside. I wish. Because people want me, and they tell me all the time, Phil, you could be prime minister of this country, you know. You could be a prime minister. You need to start carrying yourself a certain way and talking a certain way. And the reason I don't take them on, I don't even answer them anymore. I speak to the masses. I speak to 1 million people who living in a country that don't make sense to them. I speak to 1 million people who hovering around the poverty line. I find out information today that the government know. I find out information about the comorbidities and the age groups and the races and the genders. Medically, the government know. I know that St. James in Port of Spain, Trinidad, have the highest count of comorbidities in not only Trinidad, in the Caribbean. So that St. James should have been a place to look after and make sure. But we've not treated things from a position of insist that the government make information-based decisions. So they've been able to do whatever the hell they want. $1.2 billion is going to be spent out of your children's pockets to build an airport in Tobago that distressing Tobago, that nobody need, that nobody want but the contractors, the financiers, and those who feed in. There is no way that airport worth $1.2 billion. At best, that design is $300 million. And if it is $300 million and you're spending 4 times that, the other 4 times, 3 of those 4 is theft. It is government-led corruption. And the police should be paying attention to that. But in Trinidad and Tobago, the law is written that the police can't even look there. You know that? The police have no authority. We're always saying, why your partner Gary? Because Gary doesn't have the authority to interfere with corruption. Gary doesn't have the authority to interfere with what they're doing at that level. Who have the authority? Nobody. None. It is a country designed to legitimize corruption and theft at the government level. So those financiers and political speculators who spend their money on political parties, 10 million, 20 million, is a sure bet. Because you give 20 million red and 20 million yellow, you spend 40 million, one of them come into office, and you give back $200 million. I not bet. That's an investment. That's an investment. Now, if I go and stand up outside Carnage police station tomorrow and demand to see, somebody else could. I fight in UD court over the Red House. I fight in UD court over President's house. You're trying to tell me they don't have one other single citizen of this republic that care enough about Trinidad and Tobago. I just give you all the information. There are people messaging me, boss, I work inside that. I have a list of women and men who worked on the project to build that police station and willing to give me information. I tell them I don't have the time. I'm mentioning it in passing because I have the knowledge to know that that is theft. That police station, they thief about $40 million. That is what gets stolen in this country. In the name of building a police station, the government thief $40 million. And to say that, I have to sue the government or let the government sue me and hope I end up in front of a judge that says, wait a minute, this is not making sense. This is not adding up. If Mr. Alexander, as a citizen, is asking how could a property, how could a project that should not have cost 50 million mushroom to 53 million? He is a taxpayer, a citizen, a shareholder of the country, and he's my boss and yours. How come we can't answer where the 43 million gone? And you, Mr. Prime Minister, the buck stops with you. This is not America or Canada or England. This is a place that barely qualifies as a county in America. New York City is 8 million people, and a mayor, one man with his staff, runs it. Here we have Senate, Parliament, Senate, lower house, central government, local government, president, mayors, regional corporations. We have all kind of levels of shit in this country to run 1.4 million people. And you would think that we would have a lower murder rate per capita than America. Forget per capita. We have 500 murders a year. New York City get 280 and they complaining. There's 8 million people with 200. That's what Akash Samaru quote me on. And he didn't have the decency, maybe he didn't know. Maybe CNC3 stole it, wrote it, and handed it to him. And he didn't know that it was me he was quoting, because I do the research. It is I that bring that information to the public time and time again. But you would think that for all the levels of government that we have that New York City don't have, our schools would be better, our hospitals would be better. But no, it's not. That our country, our flooding, our drainage, our irrigation, no, it's not. Nothing works in Trinidad and Tobago. Nothing. Nothing. Nothing works. To stand up and speak out, you put yourself at risk. There's a litany of people that have a vested interest in killing you for talking the truth in Trinidad. I tell Suzette, you know. I keep telling that girl, All that talk you're comfortable talking in Holland, stay in Holland. Life different here. Here, you're at risk constantly. Today I park up outside our police station doing a video. And a car in a big open field. A big, huge open field and plenty yard next to me. A car come and park up where if his door open, me touch my door. Now tell me, if that's not at least cause for concern. So the first thing I have to wait and see is this person a fan? Did he stop for an autograph? And I always have to be situational aware and take my own self-preservation as job one. So what I wanted to finish doing, I couldn't. I had to drive away and go and deal with Chagaramas and the boats that we imported today. Maxi Coffee sent me a message from a jackass. And Maxi didn't tell me which jackass sent it. And when I asked, if there's 41 and 42, where are the other 40 boats? And jackass sent to tell Maxi Coffee. And Maxi come and say, I'm leaving this right here. You see, I don't want to really go at Maxi, because Maxi is a stroke recovering, just found Jesus man. And I met Maxi and his wife in Living Waters when Maxi wanted to, I think, make peace before he dies. And I had to tell Maxi the other day, brother, you can't say you make your peace with your maker if you and your senior, your political leader, stole $3 million from the treasury for medical attention for you, and little poor people, children, have to die in this country because we can't put $3 million in the children's life fund. So you can't tell me, brother, that you make peace with anybody. You are fortunate to have been part of a successful criminal cult. That's all that you are. Everything that you have, your big fancy house on Chancellor Hill, when you look around, when you're driving your Range Rover and thing, you are fortunate to have been part of a successful criminal cult. That's it. That's all of it. All of them on their resume. Successful criminal cult member. That's what you write when you jump in that Beamer and the Benz and the Range Rover. You go and you pick up your wife and she live in land. She don't want to know where the money coming from. She ain't want to know because the children happy and we see in the world. So freak that. That's Trinidad. The Bible, and in church, in Bible, we are one in the Spirit, we are one in the Lord. Hey, Margaret, we are one. Hey, Joseph. But you're forgetting, if they really have a God, he's seeing like Santa Claus, when you're good and when you're bad. He's seeing you singing in your Gucci finery, but he also seeing when you lie down in the bed and you know you're supposed to tell him, Bob, I'm using a name. We have nobody, I don't think we have anybody named Bob. I don't want to get a defamation letter from Bob. Bob, is there anybody in government named Bob or Robert or anything close? Bob, I think we're living beyond what you're being paid. Is there anything I should know? Wife, that is your work. That's not what they're doing. That is not what they're doing, you know. Bob, hear me now. I hear Charlie and William, wives, registered as contractors. Now, I can't tell you a hammer from a Hummer, but you could use my name and make me a contractor too now. So when I go in the club, I could say, yes, guess who's a contractor? Look at my card, my business card. We are one in the Spirit, we are one in the Lord. And when they see me in Adams, the people who just come up to me and talk bold, you could tell they are no cocoa in the sun. They just make joke. Hey boy Philip, don't put me on blast. I see you and I shake your hand. But from the time I step into a place and bullshitters there, I see Lincoln Douglas and Chandra Sharma. I was telling somebody in Trin City Mall years ago. I see them before they see me. So I just go on my way to the gents, and their table is on the way to the gents. So I don't want to be rude. So I pull up. But like me pulling up, it's not the same as anybody else. And Lincoln Douglas nearly spraying his back, covering up whoever they was talking about on the table. Now, It could have been a roti recipe. Everybody know Philip loved roti. And it could have been his mother roti recipe and he didn't want me to see it. And he could have been sharing it with Chandra Sharma because Sasha Singh kicked him out at the same time. So he lost his little Indian and maybe he lost his roti. And maybe Lincoln Douglas was sharing his mother roti recipe as colleagues from government from a time before. So I don't mind. So I put my hand on the two of them shoulders and say, gentlemen, good day, stay strong. And I went to pee, laughing to myself. Two former parliamentarians have to panic with whatever they're reading because I show up. Now, I know with every passing day, one of two things going to happen. So record this tonight. I'm going to end up in government and fix it, or they'll kill me. And I know, because you see, when they reach the making calypso about you, Philip is a lost soul. Singing it like Philip is an asshole. Philip is an asshole. Listen now, it's not asshole, it's achole, it's French. But you wouldn't know that with your PNM degree. And I want to say this also. If you're going to sing a song about Philip, invite me. Ask Trinidad Killer. If you use my voice, I easy with you. Living in your house, trying to raise your family in a law-abiding manner, 9 o'clock in the morning. I bet you could finish that sentence. If you want to make song about me, invite me for the video now. Come on, boogie with you. Philip is an asshole. Philip is an asshole. I don't mind them thing. I not you know, Rhoda Barrett. When I wake up in the morning, even if my hair rumple up and my face, you know, you sleep so, and you wake up, you have about lines and things on your. Even if I wake up so, I could still walk up to my mirror. You is how to play hide and seek with the mirror and surprise him. Because, you know, I gotta tell you, when he was born, the doctor was trying to ask your mother, there's a joke, what are you trying to say? And you know that. You're dealing with that your whole life, Rhoda. So anyway, Philip is an asshole. Philip is an asshole. I don't mind. Philip is the most sued by bandits in Trinidad. I don't mind. Philip is an asshole. I will play it on my show. Only don't know me, you know. I'm a different kind of half-breed, you know. I didn't come out here for pips and kisses. I don't need people blowing smoke up my ass. My ass has been smoked for my whole life. I'm not doing this for a government work or a beamer. Simon the Nobrega was my neighbor. He was driving a pickup when I was driving a 5 Series beamer. And he used to tell me, boy, you can't go down. He said, come on, you also watch, you can't touch it. So the other day I see a beamer park up in Diego Martin Central. I say, Abs, boy, Sayo, you get through. And I will keep hammering Simon the Nobrega. I'll tell you why. Simon is a fellow, used to, if he bunks me up by the doubles box in Starlight Shopping Plaza, he say, boy, Phil, boy, a better country is all we want, you know, boy. This government, when Kamala was in office now. And it's hard to tell who genuine or who just using you so they could get themselves in a position to get what Kamala had. I used to watch the Congress of the People members in a Sunday morning meeting. The reason I resigned is Vernon de Lima bring me back, you know. The reason I resigned from the Congress of the People in government, and them having Sunday morning meeting talking about we ain't get enough URP projects, we ain't get enough CPEP contracts, we ain't get enough board members, and they move one of we mayors, so they better give me back something. It's all bullshit to them, the Congress of the People. They didn't go in there to fix the country as much as they said so. They went in there to get what Manning was enjoying, and I walk out. I say, but this is shit. All this time, all this energy, waste. And then one morning, lying down on my bed, turn on my TV, Fazir Mohammed, and an old white man, what, I shouldn't call him old, he'll get vexed, I know you're watching the video. Vernon de Lima, watching into the camera. He said, where the camera? Madam Prime Minister, we didn't sign up for this, eh? I said, but that man talking me talk. I went back and signed back up, joined back, work hard, work to get Vernon de Lima elected as the political leader of the Congress of the People. Because I thought there was somebody up with integrity, that kind of integrity, and a vision, we'd get somewhere. Sadly, we end up without Vernon. And everybody have their different views and the different approaches. And I don't knock nobody for their life choices if it's based on decency. If you are actually trying to do good, you know they were saying, if you set out to fail and you succeed, what did you do? If you set out to do right, and that was your intention and you accidentally do wrong, I could forgive you. You set out to do wrong, a different thing. I'll never forget you. And the opportunity, lifelong, you know, it is look short, but it's long, boy. You know, people, you know much times I had to watch people in the boy feel, boy, you know, sorry, I should have never, and you know, we good, ain't we good? We good. We good. All you know, any other politician is take the hits I take on a daily basis. Look there, I'm sure tonight there are at least 2 trolls come here to talk shit. You're a cat, you're a aunt. That's all they come to say. You're a big aunt. I can't use the correct word because there are church people on the thread and little children for some reason. We are one in the spirit, we are one in the Lord. Hey! Are we? Do we really believe that? Or are we singing for the seats behind to see us? Trinidad and Tobago don't have to be this shitty. It don't have to be this bad. It don't have to be this failed. But all of us have to at least have the courage of our convictions and the understanding that a democracy only survives for as long as there are people within that democracy prepared to stand up and defend it. That's what it is built on. We, the people. And if we lose that, we have only ourselves to blame. And I think all I have to do now is housekeeping. The Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago was set up as an organization to defend Trinidadians and Tobagonians from public and private sector abuse, utilizing the belief that the strength of the wolf is the pack and the strength of the pack is the wolf, and that the more we are together, the merrier we will be. So if you are not yet a member of the Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago, please do so now. Type in citizensuniontt.com or citizensuniontt.org and join. I am the Executive Director of the Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago. We have done a lot for a lot of people for a long, long time. It is the culmination of decades of work. Many of you would have known that I was the founder of the Jericho Project, one of the longest running, most successful charities in this country. We have helped people as far away as Haiti and Somalia. We have stood the test of time and have morphed and culminated into something that could stand for everybody. In a perfect world, we get 1 million members. And yeah, we had a charge because we don't have drug money and we don't want corruption money. So we will say that we together, we fund this. There is a membership fee of $250 a year. There's a one-time $100 sign-up fee for processing and your card and all that other kind of crap. And after that, it's $250 a year. And that is less money than the cost of a salt prune a day. And that's not what runs the party. What runs the party is the kindness of donors who will watch me one night and call Felicia the next day and say, I want to make a donation of $10,000. I want to make a donation of $5,000 every month. And that is what helps us pay the legal fees in the 10 outstanding matters that I have right now, being the most sued person in Trinidad and Tobago. We are one in the spirit, we are one in the Lord. Many people, Phil, we with you, you know. We standing with you. We in solidarity. How you paying them bills, boy, Phil? How you feeling? You good? You all right? This ain't causing you no kind of stress. Papa God in heaven blessed me with a certain level of tolerance. And every time I think that I am reaching my end of my tolerance, I find out that I have a new level of tolerance and a new strength. So, how am I doing? I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. Yeah? I'm doing fine. I'll give all you a song before I go. And I don't know how to do it on the, I'm using my iPad tonight and I don't know how to do it. But I want to find that song, Philip is an asshole. Philip is an asshole. Yeah? Let's find that song. When you're using something for the first time, it's take a while to develop muscle memory, but I'll get it. Hey, there we go. And the whole country in a hole, everything out of control. What is? Check it out. 9 o'clock in the morning. 9 o'clock in the morning. Whatever. 9 o'clock in the morning. 9 o'clock in the morning. 9 o'clock on the dot. And no food in the pot. Why? There's a flood on the main road. 9 o'clock in the day. You can't see your way. Why? Organized crime. Disorganized crime. Anywhere you turn. Crime and more crime. White collar crime. Blue collar crime. No collar crime. We're running out of time. The whole country in a hole. Everything out of control. Check it out now. 9 o'clock in the morning. 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 9 o'clock on the dot. Your salary cut. 9 o'clock in the day. No way to get paid. Let's go, Taz. Bills and more bills. Bills and more bills. Headache. Nothing to work. Nothing to work. $3 trillion spent. Nothing to show. That's how it goes. In a land named Trinbago. Nothing to work. Nothing. Public health fail. Public works fail. Local government fail. Central government fail. Nothing. 57 years. Tears. 57 years. Prayers. No bread in the kitchen. No gas in the car. No water in the pipe. Everybody by the bar. Hole in the pavement. Hole in your shoe. Hole in your wallet. There's only hole for you. They like that. Gunman in she hole, they like that. The whole country in a hole, everything out of control. Gunman in she hole, they like that. Tell me, Trinidad and Tobago, all of we want to leave and fly away to countries that work. Those countries, at some point in time, the people of those countries stood up. When you see trolls come on the thread, don't take them on, because by the time the video done, and within 15 minutes later, all of them deleted and blocked. So not only will they never get a chance to darken the hallways of our conversation again, they will never have the pleasure of looking at my beautiful, sexy face and hearing my voice. So ignore them. The trolls is not for you. Leave them like lizard shit on the windowsill. Know that I will pass and flick them away. And I want to tell you, Trinidad and Tobago, I can do the convent girl accent conversation and speak like I want you to put me in the parliament. But I choose to speak in a way that people who have been robbed of the opportunity to decipher many of those multisyllabular languages, that I will just talk normal, so that people at every level of society will understand what I am saying. I do not believe that we need to be practicing confrontational politics. I do not believe that we need to be standing up and shouting at the government. But I'm trying to understand tonight, how is it possible that something could have taken place today like what took place? And if we live in a country where the perpetrators of that wrong do not think that it was wrong, then we're in bigger trouble than I thought.